All right, team, now that we've started to trickle into class, I was saying, Thursdays must be a bit slower than we're all full of energy on a Tuesday, but that's all good. I'm so happy to see you all. Today, you'll just need a weight of any kind, okay? So feel free to use that soup can, a water bottle, a bag of rice. Get creative with it. All right. And we will not be using a stretchy band today. So just the weight and our own bodies. All right. So let's just make sure we have a nice clear space to exercise in, nothing to step on or trip over. It's helpful to have sturdy shoes or bare feet to limit trips and slips. We also want to have a sturdy chair, nothing with wheels. And then remember just to keep track of how you are feeling today. This is your class. You are in charge of the intensity. Okay, so I'll keep giving you reminders on how to increase and decrease that intensity as we go. Okay, let's get right into our breathing pattern. We're going to breathe in, fill up the belly, and then we're breathing out through pursed lips. Like we have that whole row of candles we're trying to blow out. Breathe in, fill up the belly, and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's try to breathe in for 4. In, 2, 3, 4, and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's okay if you cannot do it. Just do your best. Breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now maintain that slower, deeper breathing pattern, and we're going to start adding in more movement. So from here, I'm just going to bring my arms out wide. Not out wide this way, but rotate so I keep the elbows tucked in and bring it back in. Really easy to breathe in as you pull apart the hands. Breathe out as you bring them in. And we're starting with this movement today because we are going to add to it after a couple. So we pull apart the hands. Should feel a little bit of a stretch through the chest, some tightening in the shoulder blades. Those are all good things. Okay, so get used to this rotation at the shoulders. Good. And one more. Okay, so now you're going to have your arms in a position like you are holding on to a steering wheel, a really wide steering wheel. So the elbows are here, hands are straight in front, and I'm going to ask you to lift up your arms and back down. So we lift up our arms and back down. Now we're not doing a flapping wing. We are keeping that L shape and keeping that L shape as we push our arms out and then pull them back in. So press your arms out, maintain that L shape, bring them back in. There we go. So press out that L shape, bring it back in. Press it out, back in. Press it out, back in. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1, and hold your arms up like this now. Okay, so now from shoulder to elbow is going to stay still, but we're going to rotate our hands up and back down. rotate the hands up and back down. So you can go to level, or you can do that little bit of internal rotation. Just be cautious if you've got a sore shoulder. It's okay if you hear crunching and snapping and popping. Noise is normal with joints. We just don't want pain with that noise. Good, so rotate open. Now you might be going, oh my goodness, my shoulders are getting tired. We're just gonna do 3 more. 2 more. And last one. Okay, shake it out. Let's kind of roll one shoulder back at a time. We'll get that upper back rotating a little bit. Roll one shoulder back at a time. Good. And roll forwards. One shoulder at a time. You can start getting the elbow involved in that circling if you would like. Three, two, one, and shake it out. Good work, team. Okay, we're gonna stick our leg out. Now, if you need to keep your leg down, because keeping it up is too challenging, you are welcome to do that. We're just gonna do a couple slow circles. So think about drawing a slow circle with your big toe. Circle that toe around. Well, the whole ankle. And change directions. And yes, might get a little bit tough on those thigh muscles holding that leg up. Do your best. And let's add in our wrist at the same time. So our wrist and foot are circling together. Good. Can we change directions again? And then if you want a big brain challenge, can they move in opposite directions? 3, 2, 1. Change legs. And you can start circling foot and hand right away if you'd like, or do a couple and then add it in. All right, can we get the foot and hand circling in the same direction? And then change directions. And opposite directions. And rest. Awesome. Okay, let's start tapping a foot forward. You can reach your opposite arm forward at the same time. Again, reducing the range of motion is going to reduce the intensity, and increasing that range of motion is going to increase the intensity. The only thing I want to stay consistent as we move is that your torso stays nice and tall and we are not rocking back and forth. Can we keep our torso up tall as our limbs move? Good. So tap foot and hand forward at a time. Keep up your breathing pattern. Well done, team. And we're going to change up the movement in 3, 2, 1, and now we're going out to the side. So stepping out to the side, 1 foot at a time. And if you want to increase the challenge, let's get your opposite arm reaching up to the side as well. Let's get into that slower, deeper breath. Well done, team. Slower, deeper breath. Reach that arm and leg out to the side. We're going to change the pattern in 3, 2, 1, and now we're reaching across. So reach arm and foot towards each other as we step. Excellent. Great work, team. Step across together, cross together. Reaching towards. Remember to go at your own pace. You are in charge of the intensity. Keep up your breathing pattern. We're going to keep breathing out through pursed lips. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Great job, team. All right. Now what we're going to do is have our feet hip width apart or kind of as wide as our chair. And we're going to pull the knees in without lifting up the foot. So can we just get those hip internal rotators warmed up? So pull the knees in without lifting up the foot and then back out. Pull them in, back out. Okay. Now, as that happens, we're going to take our arms and we're going to push them in front of us and then pull them back. So pretend you're pushing a big box away from you and then pulling that box back towards you. So we're not just moving our arms, we're purposefully pushing and pulling it back. Push and pull it back. Good. Great work, everybody. Push and pull. 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 3, 2, and 1. All right, shake it out. Good. Okay. We're going to get into some of our intervals where we're working hard for a minute, resting for 30 seconds, and then repeat. Remember, the first goal is just to get yourself moving for a full minute, and then you can think about increasing the intensity as we go. Go at your own pace. Remember, if you feel shaky or dizzy, or like you cannot catch your breath, or take a full breath, those are all signs to stop and rest. Okay, I actually notice my timer is down. Let's put that back up. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, we're going to start with our shadow boxing. It's been a little bit since we've gotten to punch something in front of us. So for 1 minute, you can punch your hands out in front of you. And we're going to start in 10 seconds, just so the timer's lined up. So in 10, you can go ahead and give a couple practice jabs. Maybe you'll want to do some uppercuts. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. That's it, team. Punch in front of you. Go, 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 go. Get that heart rate up. Again, punch with purpose. That's going to get more of your muscles activated and increase the intensity. You are halfway there. Again, maybe you need to change it up a little bit. Keep up your breathing. And you've got 10 seconds. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Maybe you need to find your recovery position. Each exercise we're going to repeat. So again, we're going to do each exercise twice before moving on to a new cardio exercise. That means we are going to do our shadow boxing one more time. Got less than 10 seconds before we do it again. And 3, 2, 1, let's box. That's it, team. Go, go, go. Make sure we're breathing out through pursed lips. You are halfway there. Woo! Excellent job, team. Almost there. You've got 10 seconds. Go, go, go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! Very well done, team. All right, we're going to get going right away. This time we're going to step out 1 foot to the side at a time. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So step 1 foot out to the side. You want to reach across as you go to increase the intensity. You go for it. Again, you are in charge of your intensity. You have the power to make these exercises harder or easier. Make them challenging but doable for you today. Step and reach, step and reach. You're almost there, team. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. Keep a steady breathing pattern. Got less than 10. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Again, maybe you need that recovery position. Great work, everybody. In 10 seconds, we're going to repeat that. Only start if you're ready. 3, 2, 1, and step and reach. Step and reach. Make it challenging but doable. It's okay if you are breathing harder. That's good. You're exercising. There we go. You are halfway. Remember, it's okay to be a little bit short of breath here. Keep an eye on it. You still want to be taking full breaths. You still want to feel like you can catch your breath. It's okay to be a little bit short of breath. We're working hard. 10 seconds remaining. Keep up that breathing pattern, team. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, we're gonna have one final exercise, which we'll do twice, and then we'll move on to some strength. So our next exercise, team, is we're going to lift the knee and touch across. Think about tightening up your core and staying up tall. So it's lift and touch. You can do this seated or standing. Remember, if you're choosing to stand, have something within grabbing distance for balance support. 3, 2, 1, lift and touch across. There we go, team. Lift and touch across. Lift and touch across. You are halfway there. Keep up that breathing pattern. There we go. You got 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Excellent. So remember, we're going to repeat. Catch your breath here. Breathe out through pursed lips. It's going to be the same exercise. 10 seconds remaining until we start. Ready, 3, 2, 1, and lift and touch. Lift and touch across. Lift and touch across. Great job, team. You are halfway. Awesome work. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. You got this. You've got 10 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! Woo! All right, team. You did it. You can take a full minute here. There we go. I love it. I love the enthusiasm. Make sure you get a sip of water. We're going to bring the heart rate back down. And then we're going to do some strength. Good. How's everyone feeling so far?
Pooped.
See lots of thumbs up. That's great. There we go. Even if you vacuumed today. Yes, good, Warner. Some of our participants had a warm-up today. A pre-class warm-up. All right, Dream Team, you are going to need a weight of some sort. We're going to hold the one weight in one hand. And we're going to work on our shoulders a little bit to start. And then we'll get some legs in there, some of our bigger arm muscle groups, okay? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to hold our weight out to the side. Now, if you may need a lighter weight for this. You may need to use just your arm, Or you may need to just be aware of the range of motion, because the higher up we hold it, the harder it's going to be. So something that you are not straining to hold, it might feel a bit challenging, but you're not at all straining, okay? So again, wherever you're holding that weight is fine by me. Hold it, chest up tall, and then from here, we're just going to step our opposite foot out and back in. And that's just to add some core. If you're choosing to stand while do this, you can step forward and back and try not to let the weight move at all. So you're gonna have to tighten up your core, tighten up your shoulder in order to accomplish that movement. Ready, and step and back. Step and back. And we're just gonna do this for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that arm. Switch. Was that harder for anybody than expected? You're like, oh, that looks easy. And then you went, ooh, that is not easy. Hold that weight and opposite leg steps out and back in. Chest up tall. Think about tightening up the shoulder, tighten up your core. So just keeping everything tight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Good. Switch hands again. This time you're going to hold your arm or your weight either at your shoulder. If you've got a sore shoulder, just keep it in this front position. If you do not have a sore shoulder or neck, you can try holding the weight above. Okay, and holding that weight above, can we lift our opposite knee up, pause, and down? Up, pause, and down. Up, pause, and down. So we're going to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower that weight, switch arms. Once again, you're holding it in that front position, or you can hold it up overhead. Opposite leg is going to lift up and down. All right, and we're doing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. I'd like to remind you, we've done 2 exercises so far. So keep that in your brain. There's going to be a quiz after. That's exercise number 2. Exercise number 3 is we're going to hold the weight here. So think about your bicep curl where we curl it up and down. We're going to curl it up part way. So think about where you can feel a lot of tension in that muscle. And can we hold it there? And you're either doing your seated sit to stand, where you just push your feet into the ground and then relax, or we're standing all the way up. Notice the weight doesn't move at all, and then all the way down without moving the weight. You can do between 5 and 10. I'm going to count out 5. So ready? 1, down, 2, 3, 2, down, 2, 3, 3, down, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, and 5, down, 2, 3. Now, some of you will benefit from a bit of a rest before we switch arms. Some of you would benefit more from doing a couple extra sit to stand. So you kind of decide what's best for my body today. And no matter the answer, it's the right answer. Okay. So take a couple seconds, catch your breath, think about breathing out through pursed lips. And then 10 seconds, we will switch hands and start again. 3, 2, 1. We're going to change hands. Once again, we're kind of finding that partial bicep curl where you feel that tension in your arm, in your bicep. You can push through your feet and hold and then relax, or push through to stand all the way up and all the way back down slow. So that's 1. Up, 2, down, 2, 3. Up, 3, down, 2, 3. Up, 4, down, 2, 3. Up, 5, down, 2, 3. Now, some of you need a bit of a rest, and some of you need to do a couple extra. Right? Listen to your body. Think about what's best for you today. Remember, we're trying to match challenging and doable. Both of those things. Good. Keep up that breathing pattern. Nice work, team. Awesome. Okay. So that was exercise 3. And exercise 4 is we're going to hinge forwards. So a seated hinge, you want to get your feet wide apart. And we're just going to bend forward through the hips. Notice I'm keeping the weight down low with a straight arm, keeping my chest up, straight back. Then you push through your feet to come up. And then keeping your thumb up, I'm going to ask you to raise the weight just a wee bit. Don't go above the shoulder, just because that takes it out of that range of motion. So just up to the shoulder and then back down and then hinge. So hinge forwards. Again, keep the chest up. Push through the feet to come back up. Lift up, down, and repeat. If you're doing this standing, you keep your feet closer together and you bend through the hips like you are pushing a drawer closed with your bum. And I keep my chest up and it helps me keep my back straight. Then from here, you clench your glutes, push through your feet, come up, raise. Notice I'm keeping my core really tight to lift up that weight, down, and then you hinge again. Now, it's super important, especially if you have osteoporosis in your spine, that we really try hard to keep that straight back and not round where we're at a higher risk for a fracture, okay? That is a really good movement for you guys to do, but only if done properly. All right, so we hinge forward, then we push through the feet to come up, raise the arm, clench that weight tight. So it's a straight arm and not a bent arm trying to lift. And then down. And up, we're gonna do 5 more. 5. Hinge, push through the feet and up. 4. Hinge. 3. Hinge. 2, and 1. All right, team, switch arms. And then once again, we hinge through the hips, keep your chest up, and then push through the feet and come up and down. Hinge and up. So we go a little bit slower throughout the whole movement here, so we can be sure we're keeping that straight back and not rounding, getting into that slumped position. Up and lift, and down to hinge. Up and lift, core tight, down and hinge. Up and lift, down and hinge. Up and lift, down and hinge. Up and lift, down and hinge. Up and lift. One more. Down to hinge, and up and lift. All right, rest there. Make sure you grab a sip of water. How do those shoulders feel?
Ouch.
Ouch. Do they feel ouch, or do they feel
Ouch.
worked over? As if it's really an ouch and not tired and sore, then we need to adjust what we're doing, and that's okay. So you let me know, and we can go.
Very worked over.
Very worked over. Yeah. There you go. So that's okay, right? That's okay.
Yeah.
So we are, and now keep in mind, we're going to repeat all of those. So you may decide you are going to, maybe for some of the exercises, only use your arm and clench the muscles tight. Maybe you're going to use something a bit lighter. Okay, because we don't want to get to the point where we're really straining at an exercise. Okay. Everyone's like, okay. So we're either going to just rest for a full minute. If you want some light marching, kind of just help swing the arms, get the legs moving, you're more than welcome to join me in that. Maybe some of you are going to stay just in your breathing pattern. That's awesome too. But in 1 minute, we're going to repeat all of those wonderful exercises. Good work, team. So again, keep up that breathing pattern. Excellent. Fantastic. So in about 15 seconds here, whether you're resting or joining me in a bit of a march, we are going to repeat those exercises. So start thinking, let's reactivate those neural patterns in your brain. What was the order of the exercises? What have we done so far with that weight? So that reflection is really good. Stimulate the brain. Try to remember, what was the first exercise we did? What did we do after? And whether you remember or not, the act of trying to remember is stimulating for the brain, which is good. We want the brain to work. All right, so we're going to rest there. Again, maybe use just body weight, maybe use something lighter, maybe use the same thing as you did the first set. We had the weight lifted to the side. We held it there, and we're going to step our foot out. Step out and back. Think about keeping the shoulder and core tight. As we step forward and back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch legs and arms. Hold out to the side, step forwards and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Gonna switch hands again and hold it up in this front rack position, or overhead. Opposite knee is going to lift. Up, pause, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch arms, front rack, or overhead, and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower that weight. Good. Oh, not the hinge yet. It's the partial bicep curl in our sit to stands. 5 to 10, push the feet into the ground, or push to stand all the way up and back, down, 2, 3. Up and down, 2, 3. That's 2. Up, down, 2, 3. That's 3. Up, down, 2, 3. That's 4. And up, down, 2, 3 is 5. Switch. We'll have a rest. Some of you were maybe going to do a couple more sit to stands. That's great. While we have a quick rest, something has popped into my mind that might be helpful. Sometimes when we get some pain in the knees, sometimes all that tells us is that there's too much tension in our quads and it needs to be either stretched or rolled or massaged out. So when I get some of that random pain, I take my thumb, or you can take your palm and rub down. But I take my thumb and I kind of find a tender spot. There's the top of your leg, and it's just to the inside, kind of on that diagonal. And so I just kind of poke around, and it's usually quite sore. And then I can extend and bend if I'd like. That'll make it even more sore. Or you can just kind of gently dig into it. Not too gentle, it should be sore if it's tender to the touch. But just kind of massaging that out can help with that little bit of pain in the knee if it's caused by that tension. So there's our daily tip. All right, we're switching arms. Partial curl. And push through the feet. 1, down, 2, 3. 2, down, 2, 3. 3, down, 2, 3. 4, down, 2, 3. And 5, down, 2, 3. And rest. Maybe some of you are going to do a couple extra. That's okay. All right. Our last movement and final exercise for the day before we start our stretching is our hinge. So we hinge forward, remember chest up tall because we want to keep that back straight. And then we push through our feet, lift the weight, and down. Okay, hinge, up, raise, and down. Hinge, up, raise, and down. Hinge, up, raise, and down. And last one, hinge, up, raise, down. Switch sides. And hinge, raise, up, and down. Hinge, up, raise, and down. Hinge, up, raise, and down. Hinge, raise, up, down. Last one, hinge, up, raise, and down. And rest. Woo. Woo! That's awesome. Great job, team. Now those arms are going to be a bit stiff and sore tomorrow. So let's go over our stretches that will help with that. The first one we'll do is just press an arm up, press an arm down, stretch those arms away from each other. If that overhead is really limited, you can pull from just the shoulder or elbow up or push in front. But up does feel best if you can manage it. Think about taking a slow, deep breath in. Slowly let it out. And change. Slow, deep breath in. Slowly breathe out. And relax. Now let's pull the elbow up. How's everybody feeling? Very good. Good. And I'm seeing some thumbs up as well, which is great. Any questions about those exercises?
Jill, this is Jim. I have a question about any exercises. After I have a coughing fit, I very oftentimes get cramps, muscle cramps. And I'm wondering, am I doing something wrong? Is there something I should take? Somebody said to me that's because I'm dehydrating, but I'm not, because I'm drinking plenty. So I was wondering, what's your take on it?
Great question. We're going to switch arms here. My question first back at you is, where do you find you mostly cramp during a coughing fit?
Usually at the back, around my waistband, just above my hips, and
Yep.
sometimes in my ribs also,
Yes.
externally.
Okay. Yes, for sure. A simple thing, and again, I'm limited in what I can tell you based on the fact that I can't assess or see how you move, but some simple things that may help. One, just recognize that coughing takes a big contraction of our respiratory muscles. So it's common for people to cramp up. Same with a sneeze. A sneeze, it takes a big contraction of those muscles. And anytime we get those big contractions, that's where the muscles will tend to cramp. You can stretch a leg out. Consistently exercising will over time help improve that because it's going to increase your muscles' ability to resist fatigue. It's going to increase those muscles' capacity for work. So when they do that big contraction, they're going to be less likely to cramp. Okay. The other thing to do as well, often when we look at muscles cramping up, is from tension in those muscles. So do you feel like you have a tight back? Do you feel like you have a tight chest or it's harder to breathe in because things are tight?
I certainly feel that it's harder to breathe at all because I'm in the middle of
Yeah.
a coughing fit.
Yeah, sorry. Outside of a coughing fit, do you feel like you have a tighter back? You feel like you have a
No,
tight chest?
no, no,
No? Those muscles don't feel tight and sore?
no, no.
Okay. Because that can be, hopefully, I don't know if I said out loud, stretch your leg out, team, reach towards your toes. Again, oftentimes, with a lung condition, we tend to get really tight in the rib cage, whether you feel like it's tight, we tend to get that lot of tension. So our movements, like where we're opening up the hands, where we kind of raise one arm up nice and slow at a time with our breath, those are movements that help those muscles do the work and release some tension there. The other thing that actually might help, and it'll sound kind of funny, switch legs, is I've shown some of you before, but using a small ball, and usually a harder ball is best, and putting it either sitting on it or doing it against the wall, but right where you have, most of us have jeans with bum pockets, so right on that bum pocket area is where you'd want to put the ball. And you can even just put your thumb there and gently poke around and see if that feels quite tender or tense. Oftentimes those tension in those glute muscles can contribute to some back spasming and back soreness. So that would just be like a simple thing to try out to see if it helps.
Very good.
Does that
Thank you.
make sense?
It certainly does.
Oh,
It makes
brilliant.
more sense than I have about it anyway, at least.
Yeah. Well, good. Good,
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And that's helpful for many people. Like I bet you quite a few people were like, oh, I get some spasms too, or at least soreness when they cough or sneeze, especially a coughing fit, up on the shin or up on the thigh, team. Did anyone try the this is your quad, the quad release trick that I showed earlier? Did anyone try poking and go, oh my gosh, that's sore? What is she talking about? Oh yeah. Seeing some big nods. There we go.
Jill, I was just thinking I bought some blue running shoes last week, but I don't think I'll look good in pink ones.
Really? I think you could go ahead and try. Let's switch legs. I think you could look great. Some pink running shoes.
Wear a different
Ever
color
since
on each foot.
there you go. Boy, that would be a sight. Well, someone in this group did mention how me having bright runners they find helpful. So then if I do 2 types of bright runners, 1 on each foot, that might even be extra helpful. You never know.
Oh, that hurt.
What? Be careful. You can drop that leg. You can drop a leg back or turn sideways in your chair. So again, I will warn you guys. Your shoulders might be sore tomorrow. It might be sore to move. And when your muscles are sore, you need to warm them up. Okay, so our warm-up exercises like pulling the hands apart, stretching the arms up, and then our stretches that we do, right? That will help. Oh, we can even pull across gently. So you can pull your arm across your body. Just be gentle. That can help stretch out the tricep here. And then change sides. Well done, everybody. All right, we can slowly relax out of there. I'm gonna take a deep breath. Feel free to join me however you like. Hands on the belly, hands going up, hands up to the side. But let's breathe in. Slowly breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Roll your shoulders back. And shake it out. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, team. It's
Thanks,
wonderful
Jill.
to see
Thank
you
you.
all. Remember, the more consistent you can be with your exercises twice a week, the better off you'll be and the more benefit you'll feel from it. But it gets hard with schedules. So thank you for being here. Hope to see you all on Tuesday.
Thank you,
Thank
Jill.